Welcome back. We continue to bring you the interviews from the Global Climate Strike here on Guardians of Gaia, connecting people to planet on Channel 263. We speak to Yola Mgogwana of the African Climate Alliance on what is needed in the fight against climate change.
Came to march outside Parliament demanding that the government and the decision makers to analyze us as youth and to ban fossil fuels into renewables. Yes.
What are some of the other issues that we are standing for today?
Some other issues that we are standing for here is that the science have proven to us that we have 10 years left for us to feel the effects of climate change, yet forgetting that there are kids like me that live in marginalized communities that are already being affected by the effects that the science proven to us that we are going to be affected in 10 years' time. And then we have here to raise the issue here outside Parliament, and then it seems that the government officials are refusing to hear us, and that's why we are going to continue fighting for the change.
I just had a conversation with Yola, one of the youths of this country standing up for everything against fossil fuels and against climate change, and she highlighted some really pertinent issues regarding the timeframes that we still have in order to sort of save our Earth.
At the Global Climate Strike, Geronimo de Klerk from the Feed the Future Life also highlighted the role of youth in bringing about change.
My name is Geronimo de Klerk and I'm from Elsie River with an organization known as Feed the Future for Life. And today we are at Parliament, outside Parliament, with a global strike in terms of the climate change. But most importantly, why we are here is because we as per communities, we are suffering the most out of this issue because we are more vulnerable in terms of our communities, going back to our houses, living as per one in poverty. And we are also unemployed, which make it more hard for our communities, to keep ourselves sustainable. Now, what we need to do is that we need to be sustainable in order for us to live, which is basically wrong, and which is our human rights state that each person has a right to nutrition, food, or even eat salt. But as people go back in our communities, you will see none of our people basically have access to food, they have access to nutrition, etc. Just passing now here, coming to Parliament, we've witnessed and we've saw that as people giving out some food, and we want to stop that in terms of saying to Parliament, adopt the charter, and we want to say put our people before profit, because now we also need to, as per food growers, we need to adopt by the charter, we need to adopt by the new charter, we need to adopt by the new climate, we need to adopt by the climate, because our crops are not growing well, our crops are not doing well because of the climate change, because of the polluting of the air. But now we as youth and communities, we are here today to say to Parliament, we need changes, and we also mentioned to them that in the midst of all these chaos around, there is opportunity for changes within youth and communities, and that changes is only coming from the youth and communities, and they need to adopt our charter, they need to put our people before profit, they need to put our community before profit, they need to think of our youth, think of our future, because if they're not going to adopt our charter by 2030, there won't be a future. We're saying to you, Parliament, we all are fighting for this thing. This thing has a huge impact on our lives as per vulnerable communities, but it's also going to have a huge impact on your life. Don't think we as vulnerable communities don't have a solution. Well, we know what to do, but Parliament, we're saying to you guys, adopt the charter, put our people first, because our people, they matter. And we're saying once again to you, in the midst of all these chaos, there's a platform for youth and communities to bring changes. So we're saying to you, feed the future by adopting the climate justice charter and put our people first.
Many groups and organizations were represented at the Global Climate Strike. Lydia Peterson of SAFC highlights the right to environmental health.
The actions of the DMRE and the government that still keeps on pushing for new nuclear, the extension of Kuberg, we feel there are many other options for renewable energy that can be utilized. It's a cleaner and it is a safer energy source, and we cannot understand as to how the government can still issue licenses even for cow power ship that will lock us into a 20-year deal. It is unsafe, it is unhealthy source of energy, and we feel that the communities have been marginalized for so long, and we need the government to abandon this idea of procuring new energy sources, which is not to the benefit of the population. There is no equity, and we feel that the deals that they are busy with is so intent of being a corrupt deal. SAFC has won a court case in 2017.
At this year's global climate strike, the call was to uproot the system, and Liz McDade of the Green Connection agrees.
This is a very historic moment because this is Heritage Day, and as part of ensuring that we keep and save our heritage, it is important that we change the system. Climate change is a very real crisis, and we need our government to move away from fossil fuels, away from nuclear energy, towards renewable energy. And they can't just do it on a technological basis, they have to take the people with them. The people need to govern properly. So we need a power system that is socially just. And the Green Connection believes that the way to do that is to empower people to take control. So we are here to support all organizations and part of the Climate Justice Coalition pushing for democracy in our power sector. We need energy democracy that empowers people, and that way we will have energy to drive society.
We just wrapped up our time at the global climate strike with learners from Fairdale High in Umfuleni, Cape Town, who explained why they joined the protest.
My name is Sake Mgazi. I'm from Fairdale High School. Today we are here coming to protest about, we want the system to change, because down with the capitals, down, because what they're doing, they're selfish. We want people in front, not profit, because they want to do profit. They don't think about us. What they want is money, they're greedy. So we want that to change, we want the system to change. Thanks.
I'm Alice Ngube, I'm from Federal High School. I'm here to fight for the justice in regards to climate change. I'm a black person, which means I'm poor. I live in a very undignified community, so I'm here to fight that, to have better conditions in regards with the water supply.
Stay tuned to Guardians of Gaia. We will feature Fairdale High learners at the end of this episode today with their original track encouraging us to save water. When we come back from the break, we head into Faces of Environmentalism, where we profile people who are changing the environment in their own corner of the world. Stay with us.